What's up, guys? It's your boy, Benny. I'm about to play you a clip of your run-of-the-mill insurrectionist BLM supporter here from the summer of love 2020.
We got fucking rip Trump out of that office right over there.
Rip Trump out of the office. Okay.
Nah, we ain't.
This was in front of the White House, by the way. The speech was being given.
Wait until the next election. We about to go get that.
Okay.
I ain't about that.
Okay, so that's John Sullivan, just your standard BLM insurrectionist saying they're going to rip Trump out of the White House. They're not going to wait for the election. And everyone, lobotomized seals. They're all clapping. Okay, so whatever. This is how they speak. This is their language. It should be prosecuted, but whatever. Here is also John Sullivan wearing a Trump hat. What the hell's going on here? Well, let's let John Sullivan explain.
But it's all fake. My face is not on Instagram.
Oh, it's all fake. Okay.
Already, I'm gonna wear a Trump hat. I bought one today. I was wearing
BLM guy.
Last Trump at the Trump rally during the daytime.
Is wearing a Trump hat.
That happening, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. Oh yeah, I was just a journalist, but I use that all the time.
Oh, okay.
I'm just a journalist. I'm here recording.
So he's lying.
On my shoulder.
He's lying about.
Camera on my shoulder right here.
Got it. He's lying about calling himself a journalist. He's wearing a Trump hat and MAGA swag in order to fit in with the Trump crowd in order to do what? Where exactly was John Sullivan, BLM activist, saying he wants to rip Trump out of the White House? Well, Trump happened to be speaking at the Ellipse. John Sullivan, on January 6th, was inciting the crowd to commit federal offenses. Oh yeah, baby. Antifa member BLM activist has now been federally convicted on 7 felonies for incitement and illegal activities on January 6th. Antifa revolutionary who incited January 6th riots found guilty on all 7 counts. Well, I thought this kind of stuff didn't happen. I thought this all was a lie. Turns out that this guy has a long history of promoting the storming of the Capitol official narrative, right? And that this revolutionary has now been convicted for effectively inciting Trump supporters to walk into the Capitol. Check this out. After a few hours of deliberation, the jury convicted John Earl Sullivan, 29, of Utah, known as Jaden X, on 7 charges. According to court documents, federal prosecutors sought that Sullivan be held in jail until his sentencing. U.S. District Judge granted their request. The charges included felony obstruction of an official proceeding and civil disorder. Sullivan captured one of the most famous recordings of January 6th depicting Ashley Babbitt's gunshot death and sold the rights to media sources. That's right. This guy was an absolute celebrity. Listen to this.
Activist John Sullivan. John, you...
Wait. What did he say there?
And left-wing activist John Sullivan.
Left-wing activist.
John, you filmed this moment on your phone.
Left-wing activist.
Just can you describe what happened?
Would you look at that? CNN platforming a J6er.
Yeah, so basically all the protesters kind of stormed to get into the chamber. We tried to get into the main entrance right when you walk down the hallway. But that being said, nobody was able to get in because there's 2 guards refusing to move. People there were not really wanting to hurt the police, so they went down. This lady was able to make her way all the way through the window. All we see is these guns come out the doorways, just guns, and all you can see is their hand. That's it. You can see faces.
So he's talking about the murder of Ashley Babbitt. All right. Who is John Sullivan? John Sullivan is a radical, self-described revolutionary who literally founded a group called Insurgents USA, shouted several incendiary statements during the storming of the Capitol, including "We about to shut us down." He published everything to YouTube. "I was only observing," he said. "I followed the crowd." Oh, did you follow the crowd? Here's some of John Earl Sullivan's cinema.
Oh, get up here! They're climbing up the wall! They're climbing up the wall!
Great job, John. Really. These people were being entrapped. They were being entrapped by people like John Sullivan and others who, and interestingly enough, John Sullivan appearing with Ray Epps. Yeah. There he is. There they are, literally standing together.
What? Undercover agent type.
Standing together, talking about undercover agents. Were they undercover agents? Well, they sure as hell got in the Capitol fast. Here's John Sullivan after he followed Ray Epps' advice. As we've heard many times, we are here to storm the Capitol, Ray Epps says on video. John Sullivan followed his advice, and, well, here he is.
I'll give you your hug now. We did it. You were right. We did it.
Dude, I was trying to tell you. I couldn't say much.
You were right.
You just have to watch my tail. Is this not going to be the best film you've ever made in your life?
Interesting.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Well, so here's the thing, is that in 2021, FBI Director Christopher Wray denied that there was any evidence of Antifa involvement in January 6. John Earl Sullivan's conviction does not comport with the FBI Director's narrative. No evidence of Antifa involvement. Oh, okay. What about this guy?
We got to fucking rip Trump out of that office right
We got to rip Trump out of the office. We're not going to wait till the election. The self-described Antifa member here, John Earl Sullivan. Is this evidence enough? How about the federal conviction of John Earl Sullivan? Now, how about this image of John Earl Sullivan saying that he's doing counter intel? Ladies and gentlemen, as somebody who lived in Washington, D.C. through the entirety of the Trump years and the Obama years, like, I got to tell you, Antifa was a part of life. You would get a left-wing revolutionary event every time somebody was overcharged for a blueberry muffin. There was a shop burned down, or a cop station barricaded, or a statue torn down every weekend. Antifa was ubiquitous. They were everywhere, and they want you to forget this, but Antifa literally set the entire city ablaze when Donald Trump was inaugurated president. They arrested thousands of Antifa members. Thousands! And a judge cleared all of them of charges. Interesting how that works. So, you know, if you're on the right side of the revolution, you don't get charged. But here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We are looking at footage of January 6th where hundreds of thousands of Trump supporters, mostly peaceful, gathered in Washington, D.C., but Antifa's nowhere to be found. I mean, if there was one time for Antifa to show up and be heard and to have a physical point of protest, you'd think it would be that day. But lo and behold, it turns out that the Antifa members and BLM supporters just looked like this. I thought the FBI was good at disguises. Apparently not. So this guy has now been charged. He's been convicted. The Washington Post, writer or journalist, man who said he was only filming on January 6th, convicted. Oh, okay. John Earl Sullivan, accused by conservatives of being an Antifa insurgent, said he was trying to blend in. Giant quotes around Antifa. Okay, pal. God, look at what these people do when they're on their side. Whatever you think of the media, however much you hate the media, you do not hate them enough. John Earl Sullivan was just convicted on all charges. So why wasn't Ray Epps? That is such an important question. Of course, we wish to ask that question because recent footage of Ray Epps shows that he was saying, storm the Capitol 24 hours at least before January 6th. This is brand new footage that just dropped on Laura Logan's new platform and outlet. Check it out.
Maybe it's because you're my neighbor. Where you at?
Then he leaned in and whispered something he apparently did not want to say out loud.
We're not here to fight, man. We're here to storm. I'm not kidding. We're here to storm the Capitol. Hell yeah. All right, have a good night. Be safe. Be safe, brother.
That one moment changed what we knew about Ray Epps that night, when he whispered storm the Capitol before it had happened, and echoed the official narrative before it was broadcast across the nation.
Of supporters of President Trump stormed the U.S. Capitol building.
Thousands storming the Capitol.
This mob that stormed the Capitol.
Stormed the Capitol.
Stormed the Capitol.
Stormed the Capitol. Stormed the U.S. Capitol building.
Stormed the United States Capitol.
He ran it through forensic software that technical investigators use for analyzing audio and video to make sure we heard correctly and it had not been altered.
Here's to storm. I'm not kidding. We're here to storm the Capitol. Hell yeah. All right, have a good night. Be safe.
And searched through hours of footage, countless news stories, Epps's FBI case documents, and his deposition before the January 6 committee to see if it had been discussed. With the exception of one writer we found on Substack, it hadn't.
So the more that's come to light about January 6th, the more questions that must be asked. Like, for instance, how much federal involvement was there in January 6th? Based on court proceedings and FOIA requests, we now have undercover camera footage of undercover police officers on January 6th inciting the crowd. Here's undercover body camera footage from a police officer. This is a D.C. police officer inciting people to enter the Capitol. Go, go, go. Help them up. Help them up. Let's go. A lot of these protesters were charged with trespassing on Capitol grounds, so this is an incitement of a crime by a federal officer. What exactly did the court proceedings say about John Earl Sullivan? Well, incitement is what he's being charged with. Check this out. Federal prosecutors said that Sullivan was captured on video from inside the Capitol telling the crowd, "We gotta get this S burned." Sullivan was heard saying, "It's our house, mother effers. We are getting this S." More footage showed Sullivan, who had a ballistic vest on and mask, join a crowd trying to open doors in the part of the Capitol guarded by law enforcement officers. According to the indictment, Sullivan can be heard on the video telling individuals in the crowd, "There's officers at the door." Less than 2 minutes later, officers are still at the door as others break the glass windows, various objects. Sullivan, also known as J Next, can be heard saying, "Hey guys, I have a knife. I have a knife. Let me up." Oh, okay. Cool. It was only observing, Sullivan testified in court, "I followed the crowd." I don't remember bringing a knife specifically. Oh, okay, got it. Incredible. His intent was not to burn the place down. His intent was to film. Yeah, okay, got it. Well, then stop trying to burn the place down. The indictment says that Sullivan, captured on video, shared on YouTube, followed the death of George Floyd, telling protesters on a microphone that we need to burn this S down. Hey, at least he's consistent. And we need to rip Trump out of office, effing pull him out of this S. We ain't waiting until the next election. According to federal prosecutors, the indictment says that Sullivan is then seen leading a crowd of chants, "It's time for a revolution." Got it. All right. So now he's charged with 7 felonies. And he's a Black Lives Matter Antifa revolutionary. Sure as hell looks to me like the FBI has been lying. And like the FBI knew that Antifa had integrated into that crowd. They knew that that would muddy the political narrative and the PR narrative. And they decided to stop that narrative from happening by lying. What else are they lying about? Clay Higgins asked this question of ghost buses yesterday of FBI Director Ray. Quite fascinating here. Check it out.
Are you familiar with you know what a ghost vehicle is? Director of the FBI certainly should. You know what a ghost bus is?
A ghost bus?
Ghost bus.
I'm not sure I've used that term before.
Okay. Well, it's pretty common in law enforcement. It's a vehicle that's used for secret purposes. It's painted over. These 2 buses in the middle here, they were the first to arrive at Union Station on January 6th, 0500. I have all this evidence. I'm showing you a tip of this iceberg.
Mr. Chairman.
These 2 buses are painted completely white.
Point of order.
Point of order. Sure.
Just run over the time.
I understand, but you'll recall that Ms. Jackson Lee's been allowed to go 2 minutes before. Now recognize Mr.
May I
Ray.
close this statement, Mr.
No,
Chairman?
I think your time is expired.
This is a very significant hearing, Mr. Chairman, and these buses are nefarious in nature and were filled with FBI informants dressed as Trump supporters and deployed onto our Capitol on January 6th. Your day is coming, Mr. Ray.
Mr. Higgins. I now recognize.
Oh man, members of Congress need to learn how to ask questions better. I'll do a training for free, guys. Literally let the people answer questions, okay? Get to your point and let them answer questions. It's called frame control. The response is the news, okay? Shh. Let people answer. Anyway, we're going to stay on the story. Now the narrative is completely busted. And so what more will come out? And more importantly, why haven't they charged Ray Epps? I mean, if they're going to charge this guy with incitement, where the hell are the charges for Ray Epps? We have it on video. I'm not assuming anything about him. I'm simply playing the video for you and saying, well, that's incitement, definitionally, right? Right. We won't hold our breaths. The FBI must answer these questions. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe if you want the answers to these questions. See ya.